The debate around Luffy and Zoro being comparable to each other has been a cancer in the community for some time, whether people are saying Zoro has been stronger than Luffy since the post-time skip, or whether it's just a case of captain and first mate and how a first mate can never be stronger than his captain. That's something that we've been dealing with for quite some time, but with the latest revelation from chapter 1033, with Zoro apparently using advanced Conquerors Haki, it seems this might be the time to at least re-engage that dialogue. So the premise of this video is really to just talk about what Zoro has just acquired and what that means for Zoro, and whether we can actually now put him in the same sentence as Luffy in terms of power. Now, I understand how you guys may be feeling right now, like, Jay, please, we don't need to revisit this argument. Why can't we just enjoy Zoro and just leave Luffy out of it? The reason I'm talking about this is because there's something I noticed in this chapter that I thought was very interesting that we need to harp on. It's something that King said, and it's something that Zoro is doing now, and something that separates Zoro from other first mates that actually sparks this conversation. I actually think it's a good conversation to have right now. But first, let's just talk about Luffy versus Zoro for a second, and let's talk about captains and first mates. Now, one thing that I've noticed in particular that's very interesting about what King said is when Zoro used Conquerors Haki, he said, "Oh, so you want to be a king as well." And one thing that I've mentioned, if you look at my People Don't Understand Conquerors Haki video, and also my Advanced Conquerors Haki video as well, one thing that I notice in people that have Conquerors Haki and the traits that they have is grandiose ambition. Your ambition is exclusively tied to your haki. Your willpower is exclusively tied to your haki. I genuinely believe the stronger your ambition, the stronger your willpower, the stronger your haki, the stronger your strength is in general, right? That's how I view haki. Haki is something that's innately, spiritual and tied to your mental state and your fortitude. And in this case, specifically with Zoro, I find that out of all the first mates, and this might be just because he's a protagonist and he's highlighted more than the others, I find that Zoro's role in the story and as a Straw Hat is stronger and more meaningful than people like Rayleigh, Ben Beckman, Katakuri, King. I understand it's mainly because Zoro's more of a main character than the others, and we haven't had a chance to really dig into their ambitions. But when you hear about the ambitions of the others, you don't really know what Rayleigh's ambition was besides him going on a journey with Roger. Katakuri was mainly to protect his family, so that's in a bubble. That's gonna stay there. That can extend far, obviously, but it's not gonna be as far as the world's greatest swordsman. We don't know much about Ben Beckman yet, which is why he's still, number 11 in my top 30. But again, as you go down the list with these first commanders, you notice that there is a distinct difference between Zoro's dreams and ambitions compared to the other. Zoro's ambition means that I need to defeat every single strong opponent, or at least defeat someone that has defeated the rest of the strongest swordsmen in the world. This is Mihawk. And now we get into the Mihawk debate. How strong is Mihawk? I genuinely believe, regardless of what your agenda is, Mihawk will always be top 10. Mihawk can either be in the top 5 or he'll be in the top 10, depending what Oda decides to do. We know for a fact that Mihawk is comparable to Shanks because of their constant duels. Mihawk is no longer interested in fighting Shanks, so how you rank Mihawk is solely dependent on how you perceive him and your perception of the story. That is subjective. That's something that we can't objectively clarify, but I want to use the objective fact that Mihawk is the strongest swordsman in the world, and that he has fought Shanks on multiple occasions, and we still don't know who the winner of those duels are. So let's compare Zoro and his ambition to be a king and the world's strongest swordsman, and separate it from the other first mates whose willpower and ambition is not the same as Zoro's. It's just not the same. So when you're talking about an ambition like becoming the world's greatest swordsman, which I'd argue is comparable to being the Pirate King in terms of strength feats, as to be the Pirate King, you have to defeat all the Yonko. To be the world's strongest swordsman, you have to beat someone who is already Yonko level. So that's where the comparability comes in. So just from what King said, and the assertion that Zoro now has Conquerors Haki, Zoro is willingly using Conquerors Haki, and we know how far Zoro wants to get, not to mention we still need to cash in on the Black Blade plotline because that still is coming. So that means Zoro's level right now with Conquerors Haki, with his ambition, comparison to other first mates, and now the advanced Conquerors Haki that he's using, we're at a different ball game. There's a different discussion to be had. Now, Now that I've clarified that, let's get into Advanced Conquerors Haki. Now, there is a point that I made in my last video about Advanced Conquerors Haki changed the game, where I said that people who use Advanced Conquerors Haki are now in that top 5, top 10 category. Once you have that in your arsenal, you should be included in the top shelf fighters, the top tier fighters, right? And one assertion that I made is Yamato versus Zoro. And that's something that has been heavily debated for a while. And I always said they're probably even, but I needed to see Zoro use Advanced Conquerors Haki. Well, guys, today's the day. Zoro has used Advanced Conquerors Haki. So what does that mean for the scaling perspective? What does that mean for Zoro narratively? That means now that Zoro is going to start using techniques in the same way Odin did, in the same way Roger did, in the same way I assume Shanks did, in the same way I would assume Mihawk does, in the same way that I'd assume Rayleigh. We didn't really see it with Rayleigh, but I'd be shocked if he didn't have it. But we're at that tier now. So for me, Zoro is now in the discussion. He's in the discussion. For me, I would put him over Boa, Kid, Marco. Boa might be able to use Advanced Conquerors Haki, but that's not confirmed yet. Zoro is confirmed, so I'm just going to give Zoro the benefit of the doubt here. Katakuri, again, I know that's my agenda. For me, that's more of a mashup thing than an attack potency thing, because I always believe Zoro has the attack potential to take down Katakuri. It's more about a matchup, but that's not important. That's not an important conversation. The topic is Zoro. The topic is Advanced Conquerors Haki. That's changed the game, because now the capabilities of someone who can wield Advanced Conquerors Haki is extreme attack potential. It's like Yonko level, like, okay, I can now inflict damage to any Yonko. Big Mom, Kaido, everybody can get it. Zoro's at that level. He's already scarred Kaido, but this is different now. Now that he's willingly using it, this is Zoro going to another level. I genuinely believe in this chapter, Zoro has powered up. He is now he's now accepted what Enma is truly for. Enma is a weapon that makes Zoro go all out all the time. No more holding back, no more control. Enma is the Lord of the Underworld. Enma needs to subjugate everything in its path, and Zoro has to have that mentality. And it's not ironic that the moment Zoro has the mentality, hey, Enma, I can't play around with you no more. I have to literally give you everything in order for you to function in your right role. It's no surprise that Conquerors Haki was tied into Zoro accepting Enma for what it is. The Lord of the Underworld. The Lord of the Underworld, which is basically a ruler, a subjugator of malice. So Zoro has decided, it's time. I'm a king. I have a king's blade. It's time. Advanced Conquerors Haki comes out. It's no surprise. That is the narrative weight of what we just saw in this chapter, and that means Zoro has now realized, oh, I've always had this capacity. I was holding myself back. Thank you, Enma, for showing me I've always been holding myself back because you're tired of my nonsense. So now we have Zoro at a new level. I believe Zoro always had this in him, but he didn't know he had it in him until Enma came. So Enma basically showed Zoro who he really is, a king. So now we're here. Now that's why I'm saying Zoro, I'm taking Zoro over Yamato now, just based on principle. Just based on principle that he scarred Kaido, he's aware of his Advanced Conquerors Haki, and he's leveled up. He's leveled up because now with this Advanced Conquerors Haki, that variation of Shishi Son Son that he used on King, if he uses Advanced Conquerors Haki, oh, King's getting hurt now. Thick hides and defense, now Zoro can cut anything. Diamond, I hope he eventually cuts Diamond. I hope Oda cashes in on that, but that's a whole other debate. But this is where we're at now with Advanced Conquerors Haki. Now, there's one thing I want to address because a lot of people have asked this question. They're like, okay, so does that mean everybody who doesn't use Advanced Conquerors Haki, say the Admirals, what happens to them? Now, I'll say this for sure. There are cases of characters where they are so strong, even if they don't have Advanced Conquerors Haki, doesn't mean that they cannot defeat someone who wields Advanced Conquerors Haki. I think Advanced Conquerors Haki just puts you in a certain category. Doesn't mean that's the only thing that can put you in that category, and we need to understand that. If you look at, first of all, we'd like to assume, clearly Whitebeard had Advanced Conquerors Haki. Akainu was fighting with him. Kizaru was fighting with him. Aokiji was fighting with him. Like, does that mean all of a sudden that they can't be comparable, that they can't defeat other people like Kaido and Big Mom? I don't think so. Do I think Luffy can beat any of those 3 OG Admirals right now? Not yet. I don't think so. I think it'll be extreme to fight, but I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. So if we find out that the Admirals can use Advanced Conquerors Haki, maybe that'll strengthen the argument, but I think that's not the only deciding factor. The premise of that comment is only to say this is a skill set that will put you in a specific category. I'll use a basketball reference for those who really don't understand what I'm saying. Just because Giannis does not have a three-point jump shot or a mid-range jump shot doesn't mean he can't be a top 5 player in the NBA. Do with that with what you will. That is as clear as I can make it for you guys. So let's kill that argument now. So you guys see where I'm going. So now we have the trajectory for Zoro. Now I would say from this point forward, Zoro should be in the category, and this may be crazy for some people. He's in the category with Ben Beckman now. I think he's there. I think he's like right below Ben Beckman, he's right there on par with Fujitora, Green Bull. I think he's there now because I think Fujitora and Green Bull they're stronger than King and all the other first mates. I put them up there as well. So now Zoro's trajectory is that much closer to him fighting Mihawk. I think if we don't get a Black Blade in Wano, the Black Blade is coming against Mihawk because I think that's the last step for Zoro. Outside of that, Advanced Conquerors Haki is one of 2 final steps. Once we get the Black Blade, I think it's a Mihawk time. I generally think that. So there's a lot more to come from Zoro, but what we got from 1033 is a lot. Narratively, strength-wise, to me, Zoro now is in that category with Luffy. Zoro now is comparable to Luffy. I wouldn't say he's stronger than Luffy, but there's definitely a debate to be had. And I think with Luffy split the sky, and I said in another video as well, actually it's the Advanced Conquerors Haki video. Once you split the sky, that is a exclusively Yonko level feat. So I can't in good faith, based on what I said then, say that Zoro is stronger than Luffy. Mainly because I would like to see Zoro split the sky personally. I know that's kind of like an arbitrary point, but if Zoro splits the sky against Mihawk, Yonko level. For now, Admiral level. That's how I see it. Until next time, take care. Yo everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe here to get the latest from the channel. Also check out some other videos that might suit your specific tastes.